Chapter 8. Reckoning in the Depths. The lights of the safe house flickered as Michael entered, his body aching from the night's chaos. Samira followed close behind, her face pale with exhaustion. The black van that had whisked them away from Carmichael's facility now sat idle in the alley, its engine ticking as it cooled. Michael dropped into a chair, his head in his hands as the adrenaline drained away, leaving only the gnawing weight of what lay ahead. "We can't go back there," Michael said, his voice low and hoarse. "She'll be ready for us next time." Samira sat across from him, her laptop already open, its screen casting a faint glow on her face. "We'll have to strike somewhere else," she replied. "The virus did its job, but Carmichael will double down on her defenses. If we're going to dismantle Nemesis, we need to move fast and hit them where it hurts most." "What's left?" Michael asked, leaning back and staring at the ceiling. The tension in his chest felt like a coil tightening with every passing second. "We're running out of time, and she's always a step ahead." Samira hesitated, then turned the laptop toward him. The screen displayed a schematic of a sprawling underground facility. "This is the core operations hub for Nemesis. If we take this out, we disrupt everything. Carmichael's control, the replicas, the behavioral override systems, all of it." Michael leaned forward, studying the schematic. "What's the catch?" "It's buried under a private compound, heavily fortified. Getting in will be near impossible," Samira admitted. "But there's a window of opportunity. In 2 days, they're rotating their security personnel. It's our best chance to infiltrate without immediate detection." Michael nodded slowly. 2 days. That's not much time to prepare. Samira's lips pressed into a thin line. "It's all we have." The next 48 hours were a whirlwind of planning and preparation. Samira worked tirelessly to refine their strategy, her fingers flying over her keyboard as she hacked into Nemesis's surveillance systems and intercepted communications. Michael reviewed the schematics again and again, memorizing every corridor, every exit, every potential choke point. He sharpened his instincts, his mind replaying the mistakes of their last mission like a haunting refrain. They spent hours gathering supplies, disguises, electronic countermeasures, weapons. Samira reached out to old contacts, pulling favors and securing a stolen access badge that would get them through the compound's outer defenses. Each step brought them closer to the edge, the point of no return. Michael trained relentlessly, practicing drills and contingency plans, his movements precise and deliberate. On the night of the mission, the air was thick with tension. The safe house was eerily quiet, the weight of what they were about to attempt pressing down on them. Michael adjusted the straps on his tactical vest, his movements deliberate as he tried to steady his nerves. Samira checked her equipment one last time, her expression unreadable. "Are you ready?" she asked, her voice softer than usual. Michael nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be." The stolen vehicle they had acquired blended seamlessly with the convoy approaching the compound. Michael drove with steady hands, his eyes darting between the road and the rearview mirror. Samira sat beside him, her laptop open on her lap as she monitored their route. As they neared the compound, the sheer size of the facility became apparent. Fences lined with razor wire stretched into the darkness, and security towers loomed like silent sentinels. "Checkpoint ahead," Samira said, her voice calm but firm. "Just stick to the plan." The guards at the checkpoint barely glanced at them, waving the vehicle through. Michael exhaled slowly, his grip on the wheel loosening ever so slightly. Inside the compound, the atmosphere was cold and clinical. The walls were sterile, illuminated by the harsh glare of overhead lights. Michael and Samira moved with purpose, their stolen access badge granting them entry to the lower levels. Each step felt heavier than the last, the knowledge of what awaited them driving them forward. "The control hub is 3 levels down," Samira whispered, her voice barely audible through the comms. "There's a maintenance shaft that leads directly to it. If we're careful, we can bypass most of the guards."
Michael nodded, his jaw tight as he followed her lead. The shaft was cramped and stifling, the sound of their movements amplified in the confined space. Every creak of metal felt like a warning, a reminder of how precarious their situation was. Michael's mind flickered back to Alexei's words. You're part of this, whether you like it or not.
When they emerged into the control hub, the sheer scale of it took Michael's breath away. Rows of servers hummed softly, their blinking lights casting an eerie glow. At the center of the room was a massive console, its screens displaying streams of data that seemed almost alive.
This is it, Samira said, her voice tinged with awe. She moved quickly, connecting her laptop to the console. I'll upload the virus. You keep watch. Michael positioned himself near the entrance, his senses on high alert. Minutes felt like hours as he waited, the sound of Samira's keystrokes filling the silence. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple, his grip tightening on his weapon as his thoughts churned. Suddenly, the door hissed open, and Michael's heart stopped. A squad of armed operatives flooded into the room, their weapons trained on him. At their head was Alexei. Michael, Alexei said, his voice calm but laced with menace. You should have stayed away. Michael raised his weapon, his mind racing. I'm not backing down. Alexei's lips curled into a faint smile. Neither am I. The room erupted into chaos as gunfire and shouts filled the air. Michael moved instinctively, his body reacting faster than his mind as he dove for cover. Sparks flew, and the hum of the servers became an ominous roar. Samira shouted something, but her words were lost in the cacophony. Michael's focus narrowed as he engaged the operatives, his movements precise and efficient. Samira worked furiously, her fingers flying over the keyboard as she navigated through layers of encryption. Michael, she called, her voice cutting through the chaos. I need more time. Michael gritted his teeth, firing off another round as he advanced toward Alexei. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time seemed to slow. Alexei moved like a shadow, his attacks calculated and relentless. Michael countered, each strike driven by a mix of desperation and resolve. The virus's progress bar inched forward on the console, a faint beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Michael's breath came in ragged gasps as he fought, the weight of the moment pressing down on him. This was it, the reckoning. And Michael knew there was no turning back now.